So let's talk about Game Pass real quick. So the first thing I want to say is that Game Pass as a whole, in its standalone service, right? Not Game Pass Ultimate, but Game Pass is a streaming and game on demand service, right? First party titles for your Xbox Series S, Series X, older consoles as well. But with Game Pass Ultimate, what that ends up doing, which is really, really wild, is it also bundles in EA Play, your Xbox Live Gold, as well as, and this is the kicker, xCloud. Now with xCloud, you can stream games directly off of the Game Pass service to your device. And if you have a last gen console, you can actually stream to that. And so what's so compelling about Game Pass is the pressure that it has put on other consoles like PlayStation and Nintendo. Nintendo's not even trying to keep up at this point. They just know that their IPs are super valuable. So we don't have to worry. They're like, we don't have to worry. We're not going to play. We're just going to re-release older games from 10, 15 years ago. But PlayStation, on the other hand, they have PS Now. Now, PS Now, what's really wild about it, it has the most games out of all of the on-demand services. So PS Now, you're able to play old school titles. And I personally, being a PlayStation owner since back in 2004, I've been running PlayStation for a while. So I have games and I've played games that have been years old. The problem that I see with PS Now versus Game Pass is PS Now as a whole is really niche backlog of titles, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, as a PlayStation user, I'm seeing games like Wild Arms 3, Dark Cloud 2. These games are older, they're super niche. They have other ones. They have the God of War franchise in there. But with PS Now specifically, combining that with the new PS Plus and creating these 3-tier system, and then you can have some, you know, first party exclusives there. The big thing they're missing, and this is like straight up, this is the reason why Game Pass Ultimate will win until PlayStation figures this out, and that is day one releases of first party titles to people subscribed to the service. And so with PlayStation Now not doing that, in fact, the CEO coming out and being like, we're actually not going to release these because we know you'll buy it. And Nintendo, the same. They're not releasing any first party titles because we will buy it 15 times over. Heck, I've purchased Ocarina of Time probably 6 or 7 times at this point. I've purchased I've spent 200 and something odd dollars on that game. Like, they're just not going to play the same way that Xbox does. And I have no clue why Xbox is doing this. Like, I guess it's because they want to be gamer-centric, gamer-friendly. And sure, there's the idea that Game Pass is diluting the quality of games. But let's just be, I mean, let's be frank here. The games released, Battlefield 2042, Far Cry 6, these games that have been released, heck, even Guardians of the Galaxy, these are outside of the world of streaming. They weren't released complete. I mean, look at Nintendo. Not Wii Sports, but Switch Sports. It wasn't released complete. Mario Golf, not Super Rush, or whatever they call it, not released complete. So the argument that like incomplete games are being released because of streaming services is kind of not there, because even third-party, non-included games in streaming services are still being released incomplete. And not incomplete as in they need to be updated, because most games need updated day 1, day 2, day 3, but incomplete as in the content is just not there. And so I think that what Game Pass is doing is applying a lot of pressure to these other console gaming companies, and is like, we are looking at the gamer and saying we want to provide them with the most content possible. And it's changing the way people play video games, because people are like, well, I'm just going to wait for it to come to Game Pass so I can try it, then buy it. Back in the day, we could rent games. Game Pass is allowing that. Now, PlayStation is smart, and they're allowing demos to be on the top tier of their PS Plus. But still, I mean, the idea of giving gamers the most games at a subscription service price it's the way of the future for games. And whether you like it or hate it, it's here to stay. It's coming down the pike. And I think Game Pass was the catalyst, and Game Pass Ultimate being the perfect marriage between providing games to the gamers and providing services to the gamers. That's where I think Game Pass as a whole is changing, literally changing the fabric of how we interact with video games. And I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about it.